where we're at, TNT.
In the land of footy madness where the crowds collide, Taz, Todd and Egi, we're ready for the ride. Taz rocks the blues with Crips in his heart. Viewers' questions coming now, that's just the start. Goals and speckies in the heat of the game. AFL glory, yeah, it's all the same. TNT Footy, we're living the dream. With Taz, Todd and Egi, we're a winning team.
G'day everyone, welcome to TNT Footy. I'm Todd. Beside me in the middle there we've got Taz and Egi on the end. How are we, boys?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Good, mate. Thank you.
Beautiful. Tazzy's just on a bit of a delay tonight, so I thought I'd open the show.
Yep.
Tonight we're going through all that.
Did you see that, by the way? You wait for the other person to answer and then you don't talk over each other.
No, we just go bang, don't we? Me and Egi. You knew that was coming, though. You knew it was coming because of me and Egi. If that was the first time you'd done it, you would have gone over. Anyway, big show tonight, boys. We've got round 13. Controversial call. We've got a little game in there this week, boys.
Ooh.
Woo Girls Wowee, viewers' questions, and we provide an update on the TNT AFL tipping. We're maybe giving away the 160 this week. I definitely didn't get it, so we might be this week.
We might be.
Look at that.
But before we get into that, make sure you like this video and share it to help us reach our 500 follower goal this season. And if you haven't yet, check out our socials down below.
All right, a lot of good games this weekend. There was absolutely stinker of a game, but other than that, they were all pretty good games this weekend.
They were pretty good games. What was the stinker?
The Bunbury. Bunbury had the best game
record,
of... Yeah, but it's because it was wet. It was wet. It was miserable. There was a couple of dry games of footy, but most of it was wet. But over in Bunbury there, I think that's the worst game of AFL we've ever seen.
And it wasn't wet.
And it wasn't wet. No, it was perfect conditions over there. Oh, well, we'll crack off into it with Bulldogs Hawthorn, boys. I'm the only one to get this one this week, boys.
Oh, you were. It was a good one. I think the Dogs were going to smash him, but obviously they didn't.
No, Hawthorn just looked too good, too quick.
Yes.
Yeah, Hawks were quick the whole game too, and their pressure was fantastic.
Yep.
Guinea's had a good few weeks.
Oh, he's had a great. He's really stood up with Nicholas now, that's for sure. He was their good little key forward.
Flying along. I think he's had about 3 or 4. I picked him up in draft, and since that, he's just been electric since the Collingwood game.
Did he get that counter back up?
Start that off early. But no, I watched this one Thursday night. It was great game of footy. It's Hawks are back. I think they had a little slump there, but this showed they've still got a bit of life left in them.
Is it same old Bulldogs?
Well, yeah, they're sort of going into bad habits, aren't they?
They're sitting ninth.
Not, but they were still played pretty good football. It's just Hawthorn were better, I think.
They did.
They're sitting ninth again though. Like they're outside the 8 after such a hot start. So it's it feels to me like they're starting to fall back into old habits and become that inconsistent team again.
Inconsistent, maybe missing a Darcy back this week. We might straighten them up a bit.
They need it because they threw Rory Lobb forward. He kicked a couple of goals, but then
they lost him down back. Short. Yeah,
exactly.
But I thought the same as you, Hugh Tanner. I thought Dogs would clean this one up.
No, I was all over. All over Hawthorn.
In the tip show
only because I didn't want to wear a dress, but
but hey, it worked out. It was working out in your favour at the moment.
But that's it. We got one on the board early.
Yep. Beautiful. Then we look at Adelaide and Brisbane, which wasn't really quite surprising, but yeah, I think Adelaide just showed too much class in the end there.
No, and Todd's just gone 2 from 2. He's got the other roughie up. I tipped Adelaide too, and I thought, over there. Adelaide are a different team over there.
Adelaide weren't even the roughie though. They were the favourites, and I
favourites being over there.
Yeah, I backed them as well. So,
but that being said, bad kicking is bad football. Brisbane should have run over the top of them. They kicked like 8 points in that last quarter,
which it kind of makes me think about today's game as well. Too, with that
outcome. Is that also due to Adelaide pressure?
No, they were easy shots of goal. They were easy shots of goal.
Yeah, but Adelaide's pressure was very good.
It was good, but there was a lot of easy shots that Brisbane had.
Yeah,
Loman missed one from the top of the square.
yeah, it was unmissable.
Running in. Yeah, unmissable goals.
Well,
Sorry if I talk over you.
it was pretty it was pretty wet. It was pretty wet in Adelaide too. It was pissing down in that game, and yeah, I think
Yeah, well,
that
this
would have
was-
affected as well.
This was the first lot of that wet weather football, and it was sloppy, it was harsh, but then there was skillful like Neil. Neil was clean. You had Rankin and Dawson. Dawson was just grabbing everything.
Yep. Will Ashcroft was
That's good.
doing pretty well as well.
We've got Bailey had a shocker in the fourth from Hugh Trainer.
Oh,
yes,
he did. Two out on the Falls when they really needed those goals. I remember that.
Yeah, and yeah, they're pretty gettable as well.
Yeah, they were.
Well, this puts Lions second, and they're only 2 points ahead of Adelaide and Geelong in third and fourth.
Yeah.
And Pies 6 points in front.
Nah. Oh yeah, now actually.
No,
could be.
6
Yeah,
points,
they are
game and a half in
They
front
are in
now.
front now. Yeah, after today.
Game and a half. I still think Geelong's favourites to finish top with the run
Yeah.
they've got.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm feeling a Collingwood Geelong grand final.
Oh, I meant
Ooh.
favourites to get the minor premier, just because Collingwood's got 3 games in a row where I feel they'll rest because they don't want to push hard, and then they've got Adelaide over there, Brisbane up there, and then Geelong at home.
Yep.
So I think it's
I'm
a
still
tough
not
3
writing
runs.
Hawks off.
Sorry,
I'm still not writing the Hawks off.
Hawks off. Hawks still pissing her wrong. We've got Hugh Trainer. Geelong starting to look scary, and they are considering they've done all their hard yards early. So they've got, out of their last 9 games, I think we've got 7 of them they'll go in red hot favourites, and there's a 50-50 against Brisbane. I think that's it.
I think it also depends on how many games of the category do they have and who against. Because you
No,
can lock
well-
them through in there.
Yeah, well, you can lock them in there, and that's where they're playing Brisbane. But other than that, and we're getting a bit off topic, but we like talking football, so why not? But other than that, where are we? So I'm trying to find Geelong here. I should have had this pre-wound up.
I can't load it, sorry.
Okay. You can't load it. Why isn't that
Hugh
not
Trainer Scott
filtering?
Collingwood had the hardest run out of any current top 8 team for the remainder.
They'll still finish top.
All right, so Geelong. Let's see. On the right. What? I don't know. Just giving up. We'll go through it later.
All right, on the next game, Richmond v Sydney. A few people tipped Richmond in this game, but Sydney came away with it. Did you boys watch any of this game? Or I listened to a bit of it, but didn't get quite the whole gist of it.
I watched a little bit. Yeah.
I was going to say I watched bits and pieces. I was actually at a community cup between Murrumbeena and Cheltenham football clubs.
Oh.
So I was checking this, and I saw Richmond started hot, but then Sydney just ran away with it.
Yeah, up to about half time. About halfway through the second, then Sydney just got on top and just looked good. I don't think they were electric, but that was just more Richmond were a bit disappointing.
Yeah, I don't think Sydney are back. No way.
No, I wouldn't. And they're saying there's still a live chance now. I'd draw a line for them. Draw a line for them. Port Adelaide, Melbourne, Carlton, all those teams have got no hope.
So 11 down, you reckon?
Sorry?
11th down.
Yeah, I reckon there's a... Like we were saying that other week, I reckon there's not much point going much past 11.
What did impress me was Brodie Grundy had 51 hitouts against Nankivus' 24.
Yeah, it's all over it.
Huge.
Nice. Yeah. Grundy actually was he was all right. He was up over the ground. I was sort of half asleep. I had to get up real early, go service my car. So I was sort of tuning in and out, which you tend to do on a Saturday morning.
Yep.
Next game I thought was going to be real good. Geelong Gold Coast, but it was a bit disappointing.
Hang on. Just backtrack a second.
We
They
missed a
didn't play in
game.
the morning. They played in the afternoon.
They did play.
That was morning game,
He
mate.
got up early. He was tired by the time.
I'm tired by the time they come on.
He hadn't been able to have his little man nap before the game. He usually gets.
Before the other game, that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Geelong Gold Coast. No, I didn't see any of this.
Yeah,
this
it
game
was-
on TV.
It was a good game up until the last quarter. I think Geelong kicked 4 goals in the last quarter. I think Jeremy Cameron actually kicked 4 in the last quarter.
Yep.
And Geelong just flexed a bit of muscle. It was wet. It was miserable. It was not,
Yeah.
and this week, the whole week, it's been terrible
It has
football.
been.
In the wet, terrible football, apart from a couple of games, and you can just see the silky team sort of come out on top.
Some.
Yeah.
So I think all the
Certainly
silky teams come out on top.
I wouldn't call Carlton silky.
And I wouldn't call the next game silky either.
Oh, no, but the silky teams did. Like on the maths clash, Adelaide versus Brisbane, Adelaide was the cleanest.
Yep.
Long versus Gold Coast, they were the cleanest. North Melbourne versus West Coast, North Melbourne were the cleanest. Carlton versus Essendon were probably the cleanest and deserved to win that game. But
anyway, so Geelong Gold Coast, is this the end of the line for Gold Coast? Do you think they're going to start?
no,
losing?
I just think Geelong are rung above. I think Geelong are in that top 4 and Gold Coast are that bottom 4 of the top 8.
Yep.
So you think Gold Coast is still okay, even though they've got a really hard run?
Yeah, I think they'll still make finals.
Oh, Fly being extremely humble on 360. I'll have to check that out after the show. Well done for multitasking, old Hugh Tanner, watching both at the same time.
He can't exactly hype it up because it was a terrible game of football. Not a terrible game of football.
It was just a
terrible
wet
performance.
sloppy game. It was a sloppy game.
Oh,
It's
then
just
we're
wet,
on to GWS Port Adelaide. Now, this one shocked me. This is my first wrong tip of the week. Port Adelaide got over the top.
though. Mm.
Yes.
So we reckon give Hinkley another 6 years.
And Port are just so inconsistent. You don't know who's going to turn up. They're the new Fremantle.
Yeah, 100%.
But you normally know it was... Normally at home is when they turn up. They don't travel real well, but when they're at home, they normally turn up. So, I don't know. GWS just were pretty... they can't play wet. Was it wet up there? I didn't really catch this game.
I didn't catch the game either, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was wet, and GWS...
Alira was outstanding.
I did my typical Saturday night and had a couple of beers and fell asleep at half time.
Smart.
Yeah, Alira was outstanding for Port Adelaide, coming off the back line.
Yeah, so then I watched this game on Sunday after UFC, the North Melbourne West Coast, and I nearly turned this game off at 3/4 time just because how bad both teams were playing.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
It was, and West Coast probably, to be fair, should have been 10 goals up in coming into that fourth quarter. It was woeful.
1 goal 13, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like 1 goal 13 at one point. Yep. And North was still in front with 3 goals, 3.
That's horrible.
It was 6 shots against 13 and North were in front. Then West Coast hit the front and North did come hard in that last quarter. It was the only decent quarter they played for the whole day.
Yeah.
And just ran over the top of them.
McCutcheon had a good game, though.
McCurcher was unbelievable. He was everywhere. LDU's a bit, since he signed that contract, he's gone backwards, I think. I don't want to say backwards, but just sort of underperforming. Larky's been missing. Warlaw had a pretty average game. And it was the young kids that sort of stepped up, like McCurcher, Sullivan, and Sheasel.
Oh, Daniel had a pretty good game. I know you don't like him, but he had a pretty good game.
I only don't like him because the role he plays. Now, he's too aggressive off that role for not... If he was kicking the ball like he did at the Bulldogs, you'd let it go, but he's missing targets.
That's why they dropped him.
Yeah, he's missing targets, and you can't miss targets if you're the defender running forward and turn the ball over. You just can't do it because it goes straight back over your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Just to catch up on chat, Hugh Tanner's put a few out there. You definitely got this one wrong. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but GWS had me scratching my head. I fell asleep at 3/4 time, lol. You must have did the same thing as I did, but you're 2 hours ahead of us, so at least you got an excuse that it was midnight then.
Yeah.
Simkin had a massive fourth, and Zerha has been showing up every week.
Yeah, Zerha. Our forward line has actually been pretty good apart from Larky. You've had Zerha, and then you've got Curtis.
Yeah.
And then Simpkin, kicked 2 in the last and had like 12 touches, I believe. He's just massive in the last.
Oh, it's good.
It's really good.
Next game, we'll let you take this one, Carlton versus Essendon, Tassie.
Yep, Carlton won.
That's all you got to say? Yeah. Last week,
win's
he
a
was
win.
raving top six. After that performance, are you still sure you're going to make finals?
Look,
Dan
I'm
does
still-
footy. Sorry, Dan does footy. Put out a video there, and he's looking pretty confident again.
Tiger time. We've got, other than the end, the round was rather dull. Yeah, I believe it. And Hughes got Curtis is a beast. He absolutely is.
Look, if we could continue that first quarter for the whole game, we would actually be a contender. The problem is we get shut down too easily, and we've only got one game style. So I've said that all year. As soon as you stop our run and carry, we're done.
Yeah.
But you don't really have much run and carry, which shocks me. That's your game plan when I don't see a lot of speed out of Carlton.
That's because the other team shut us off so quickly. Did you see the first quarter? Did you watch it?
Oh, I did watch it. I thought the first quarter, I think Essendon were a bit dull. And I think that helped towards once Essendon put the pressure on, it sort of shut you guys down a bit.
And that's all you have to do to Carlton. That's stopping their run and carry. As soon as there's pressure, we're done.
But that's finals football. You're not going to get loose, non-contested ball in finals football. So
exactly, we'll get pumped if we make finals.
Yeah,
the way we're going. But there's still some players I just go, what the hell? But look, credit to Essendon, they really fought back well, considering the deficit that they were down at quarter time. And that's 2 weeks in a row that they've actually come back and almost pinched the win, or did pinch the win, I think, last week. I think it was almost.
No, almost, yeah.
Essendon were really classy.
Yeah, and we've got Tiger time here
Sorry?
for you, Tassie. Mutlop looked all right. This is coming from Tassie, who absolutely hates the kid.
Yeah, look, this is one. I don't hate him. I'm just disappointed. I said it last week. I just get disappointed because he's got so much potential. He just doesn't do anything. I'll be honest, when the teams were released, I was surprised that Motlop didn't get dropped, but Durden did, because Durden's actually been kicking more goals than Motlop this year.
Yeah.
But no, he stood up. He played above
pressure.
average. He didn't play outstanding. He played above average, but that should be a week-to-week thing. It shouldn't be a once every 7 games.
Well, the pressure from him was pretty good.
Hugh Tanner just thought that was Motlop's best game. Brody's put Mutlop, haha. And Hughes also put he's inconsistent, eh? And he's also going back early. He said this was game of the round for Carlton v Bombers. Tiger time. It was a shaky win for the Blues, but they did enough to get it there in the end. He said agreed Tiger time, and he also said Silvani's been very impressive.
Silvani's having a career best year down back, and I've been saying that all season. He's been fantastic, but after the game, it didn't feel like a good win. It actually felt like a bit of a loss because we realistically should have lost that game.
Well, and that's because your expectation for your side. See, North get that win done, and it's huge for us, even though it was real sloppy, but we don't win very often. But Carlton, we were expected to make top 4, so that sort of win's not really doing much for you.
No, exactly. But we'll move on to today's game. And today's game, I thought was game of the round.
Yeah, I only caught from the last quarter due to work, but I did have a lot of comments about the tag on Dacos. What did you boys think of that?
You go, Egi.
Sorry, I missed it. What did you say, sorry?
The tag on Dacos. I got a lot of heat in the socials about that. What did you boys think of that?
It was on him like glue. Was it Ed Langdon? He was on him like glue. But he played his role. Ed played his role well and kept him pretty quiet. He only got 19 touches or 20 touches in a goal, so. But his behind was the difference, so that's how much they won by. So maybe he's just the difference.
The way Ed Langdon was doing it was just like a classic old school, tagger, like the Ryan Crowleys and De Boers and those sort of taggers. So I understand that there's probably some Collingwood supporters that were not happy about it, but it's part of the game. And when you're a tagger, you live life on the edge.
I reckon we bring taggers back. I love taggers. I miss taggers from the game.
There's been a lot more tagging this year.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
even Melbourne have had Ed Langdon and Clayton Oliver playing a bit of a tagging role as well. They've had the old 1-2 punt.
Well, GWS have Toby Bedford. He's not a big bloke, and he does the tagging role really well.
Opening round, he was all over Nick Dacos as well, and that's when he was cramping up.
Yep, and he actually beat Cripps when GWS played Carlton. He's only, as I said, he's only a little fella, so the tactics that they use are on the line. Sometimes they are against the rules, but if the umpires don't see
Don't pick it up. It's like a good push in the back. If you can get away with it, get away with it.
Yeah.
I'll just catch stuff on chat. It's just blown up. We've got George Speechley. Hey guys, bit late. Late tea. Brody's got O'Keefe. Tiger Time Savani has adapted to his role down back rather well. Brody O'Keefe was nice to see. Hugh, we've got they were clutch in the fourth quarter though. Tiger Time, I won't lie, the D's were stiff. A bit more chat between those two guys. George Demons played well. No, it was a good move. Langdon did a great job, and the game looked slow early on. Melbourne shown a bit of spirit though.
Yeah, they did in the first.
I could take a breath.
They had a lot of pressure in that first quarter, and then they sort of died it off in the second. But they were winning the ball and they were kicking a few goals.
Do you know whose role I really? Sorry, Musty.
No, you go, Tazzy. Sorry, you're lagging up a bit. I can't hear.
The role of Melksham, I'm really enjoying at the moment. He's playing that defensive forward on the key defenders. So he played on Moore today. He played on Andrews last week, and he actually does a good job. He still pops up and kicks a couple of goals and really makes them earn it.
Yeah. Well, he got a couple when the game was on the line too. He made Moore look pretty average today, I heard.
He just kept him accountable.
Yeah, he did. I thought Moore did a lot right in the first half, and sort of Melksham sort of got over him in the second half there.
Got over the top of it. I was just going on what my dad said. He watched the game and said Moore was terrible today. So.
Jeremy Howe was outstanding.
Yeah,
he played
always.
I reckon he's our key backman now. I reckon.
Yeah, till he retires.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good segue into the next segment. If we're done with this game.
Well, we'll catch up on chat. George said Demon touched well, and that was a good move to put. Langdon did a great job. Tiger Time, the game looked slow early on. Melbourne showed a lot of spirit. Hugh Tanner, I felt for Melbourne. The Fritsch behind was a mad bag fumble. It was, yeah. Felt for Gorn at the end, though. May is a vlog, but from Tiger Time. He's also got, May seems douchey, eh? And then Tiger Time, that's around his third or fourth teammate he has had a biff with. Oh. I feel like May shot himself in the foot with his comments at the best and the fairest end of last season. Hugh Tanner's also put Hal killed it in Tiger Time. Hal was massive in the Pies back line. Beautiful.
As part of the reason why Gold Coast wanted to trade May was because he just couldn't get along with other teammates.
Yeah.
His attitude's not good, and he did punch up the one in end of season here.
Very, very arrogant from what I've heard. This is just alleged, but I think there's enough evidence now to say that.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate.
All right, moving on into controversial calls.
All right, we've got two. We'll go the first one first. This is my ultimate controversial call. I told everyone to tune in for this. But suspensions. Now, this is going to get a few people. But the high bump suspensions, I'm not saying Chera did this, but I reckon if you lead with your head, which we get a lot of suspensions with player diving with their head, and someone collects you high, you should get the same suspension they get. If you burrow your head in and he collects you high and he gets 2 weeks, I reckon you get 2 weeks too. That'll stop the burrowing of heads.
Well, it's bad technique. What Chera did was actually not a good technique because what you're taught is to run in and turn your body.
And if he had done that, it would have been a fair bump. But not saying the bump was fair. He did illegally bump the bump. But if Chera all of a sudden gets 2 weeks for that as well, would he do that next time? Or would he turn next time?
But what else is Durham also meant to do in that situation?
Oh, he lined that up a mile out. He lined that up like his shoulder dropped in and he was going 2.5 meters away.
But he would probably be expecting Chera to do the same thing.
And that's what I'm saying. If we bring this into the game, and this is where my I thought it was going to be a lot more arguments. I'm glad you're on board here, Tazzy. But pick up shoulder. But I reckon if you pick up lead with your head and they get 2 weeks, I reckon you should stop the same 2-week suspension. And that'd stop players from getting in the head and just driving. Because a lot of them do that. A lot of them just drive with their head to get the free kick. It'll stop if all of a sudden you get suspended for that now too.
Oh, I actually agree with you. I don't think it's controversial at all. I think that something's got to be done. Because you're seeing how many free kicks are getting done with the head high hits anyway.
And but they're driving. So I reckon if we start suspending them for driving heads, not if you get bumped and it's just a free kick, that's fine. But if you get bumped and he gets rubbed out for 2 weeks, we rub you out for 2 weeks, I'll stop doing it.
Yep.
Just straight up, if I get rubbed out for 2 weeks for diving my head in, I'm going to turn next time. And they should be grabbing, turning, looking for a handball anyway. They shouldn't be driving through players with their head.
Exactly. Anyone in chat blowing up? I can't see it, unfortunately.
Yeah, Brody is. He said, in a perfect world, sure, but this is third to fourth quarter, and it's a quick game. Saying bag technique is an academic point. It's not realistic. Also Artie's put dollar up pies. How are you, boys? I'm very well, thank you. It's a shame he's a very good player. Baggers Unfiltered 25. I've made it. We got a podcast in 5 minutes. Congratulations, Baggers Unfiltered. Hugh Taylor was good by Dersma for the Bombers.
Yeah, Dersma was huge that game, and Dersma looked good at the player before hitting him.
Yeah.
Oh, Durham, I think you mean.
Oh, Durham, yeah. Durham lined him up for a while, and I'm saying that should be suspended, but I'm also saying if Chera turned, maybe not, but we can't analyse them, but
the game moves so quickly as well. You've got split seconds to make a decision, and if you see the ball in front of you, and you don't know, if you haven't got your awareness about you might not know someone's coming at you.
And see, I'm not just Chera. If you look at it, Chera actually didn't do it. Chera come up, and as he was coming up, he got hit. I'm just using that because it's fresh in the mind. But there are players that pick it up and drive through, and then they collect them high and get done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now we've got our little fun game, boys. Where'd I go this? Oh, so what we call this? We call this the Magpie Revolution. So I want you boys to just give me some yes or no here. We're going to go through the list, and would you re-sign these over 30 players? Because as we know, they've got 14 or 15 players that are going to be over 30 next year, all out of contract. There's some out of contract this year, so let's go through. Pendlebury, re-signing?
Yes.
Yep.
This is speed round, Tazzy, speed round. Jeremy Howe, we re-signing?
100% yes.
Yeah. Side bottom?
Yes.
Off a year, yes.
Mason Cox?
No.
Ooh. Yes.
Elliott, 34 next year.
Yes.
Yes.
Mychek, 33 next year.
Yes.
Yes.
Mitchell, 33 next year.
No.
Will Hoskin Elliott, 32 next year.
No.
No.
Jack Cripps, 32 next year.
Yes.
Do you mean Crisp?
Chris, yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Tim Membry, 32 next year.
Yes.
Yes.
And Daniel McStay is 31 next year.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's still young.
Yeah,
And
triple M.
Darcy Cameron and Darcy Moore, the two Darcys, both 30 next year. Oh, 31
Yeah,
next
it's still young.
Darcy Moore? No.
And Cameron?
Yes.
Okay, so that just means you've just signed a 38-year-old, three 35-year-olds, a 33-year-old, a 33-year-old, and two 34-year-olds,
Yes.
all for another year.
Yeah.
These guys are
That's
going to
fine.
be grandpas running around this field. You're going to have.
Oh, if
the
they
top
keep turning up like they are
12
this year, I'd find a spot for them. If not, we can bring in the young players a bit earlier.
12 players in your team over 32 next year, you boys have just signed on.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
I'm loving it. They're top of the table at the moment, so I'm loving it. But then what's that mean for the year after? That's what I just thought we'd go for a bit of fun because I was looking at it today. And I'm like, how can you have so many over 30? But I thought, we'll run through it. We'll see how we're going.
But you got to admit, if they're performing, why change it?
Yeah.
This
Like,
is
because
true.
being older, they're going to be more succumb to injury. Like, look at Tom Mitchell. Been out for just over a year now. He's been playing VFL, and I don't think he's been up to the standard to get back in the team yet.
I don't think he will get back in.
I think he might for Ed Allen or a Will Hayes, possibly a Will Hoskin Elliott. One of those players. But apart from those three, I don't see him coming in.
It won't be Ned Long, I'll tell you that much.
Nah,
He's having
100%
an
not Ned Long.
outstanding year.
Now,
Maybe
let's,
Patrick Lipinski, but yeah, he's
I'll
out.
put this question to you. Remember the Australian cricket team, how they just held, and then just got absolutely decimated for the next 3 years? You reckon this is going to happen to the Pies?
No.
I don't think so because
No.
they're still breeding some young players.
Still getting some in there.
Like there's Harry Di Matteo I keep talking about. I've been watching him in the VFL. He's been killing it, getting coaches votes every week. And I'm surprised he hasn't gotten into the team yet. So I would love to see him come into the team.
And I've heard Artie with a hot opinion here. Means nothing when you're paying to win. Can be 50 plus. George, Steel side bottom still a champ, and thought they would have subbed Hayes instead of Allen tonight from
Yeah,
Hughes.
so did I.
All right, that's more on me done. I just thought I'd those quick too. I thought my controversial call would be a lot more controversial than that. Tassie's just full agreed with me. No argument at all.
Sorry, mate. Do you want to backtrack? I think that's a shit idea.
Make it happen. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
All right, now we got my favourites. The Woo Girl a Wowee.
And just as we said last week, we're going to go through our predictions review. So I think all the boys got their predictions up. But started kicking off with Wooden Spoon. I think we all went
We've all
Richmond.
fucked that up.
Yeah, we all fucked that up. We all went Richmond.
I would like to change to West Coast, please.
I would love to go to West Coast too. And premiers, Todd,
Are we changing on the run?
No, we just said West Coast. I think we're all saying West Coast. So you're going to say
We're all on
North
West
Melbourne.
Coast.
Well, it depends. Do we get to change all of the ones we like? We're going to change everything, or just do we get to pick like 2 or 3 that we can change?
Well, we can change them like over speech way, but we can't change them on the
No,
prediction.
we can't change the tips. The
okay.
tips are in. We're just doing a little quick. We got that wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I won this last year, so I'm going absolutely terrible because I got Swans for premiers. That is not happening. There is no chance they get anywhere near the flag.
I had Carlton, so
Well, I had Magpie, so at the moment we are okay as long as we don't blow our budget according to Artie.
And then minor premiers, I think I'm the only one winning with the shot.
Oh
You
yes,
boys
Lions.
both blew your loads here. I'm
Yeah.
sitting second.
I went Carlton and Tassie's gone Swans. Yeah, Todd with the Lions.
I did indeed. Top 8, who comes in and who goes out? So Todd had Freo for dogs. Egi had Pies for doggies. That's looking pretty good at the moment. I had Crows, Freo, and Suns in. Dogs, Giants, and Port out.
Oh,
He's got that perfect.
He's
That's what's
really got
happening
that
at the
perfect,
moment.
didn't it?
No, that's what's happening.
So is
Looking
that,
pretty
is,
good
is,
there.
is that 3 points? Is it?
Oh no, he's missed the Swans. The Swans are falling out
What?
instead of.
I didn't have Swans. I said Suns.
Yeah, but you can't have 3 in and then Swans. The Swans, they
What are
come
you
out.
talking
So the
about?
Swans dropped out. You said Dogs, Giants, and Port drop out. Port did make it last year.
Yeah.
I know
know.
Swans made it last year, so you're still.
He
I don't know
hasn't,
if
he
it
hasn't
was.
said anything about the Swans. He just said in was Crows, Freo, and
Just
Suns.
saying it's not perfect. It's working, but it's not perfect.
At the moment, it's perfect.
Where are you getting
Dogs are ninth.
True. We'll let
Well,
you go.
actually,
We'll let
we're
you
a
go.
Giants. Are they still in the 8?
No, Giants are out.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you? No, Giants are in now. They're sitting 7th. But where are you getting Swans from? I'm so confused.
No, it's all right. We were just making things up
Then
on the floor.
This is why Todd-
Coleman medals. I had Sam Darcy, so due to injury, I'm not going to make that one.
Who did I go? It's
Actually,
Larky.
sorry, my apologies. I've actually
missed
skipped the whole
Brownlow.
Brownlow one.
And
I
there's
wouldn't
no
come
hope
back to that
any
one.
of us are winning them as well. I had Sheasel, he's nowhere near it. And Dacos. Dacos
We
are
both
getting
got
tagged out of the
Dacos.
Brownlow.
Yeah. Actually,
Both had Nick.
I reckon Josh Dacos.
Well, Josh is going better than Nick.
I
this
reckon
point
he
of
is.
the season.
I reckon he's flying under the radar.
The only thing is, though, they don't give, because it's his first year in, you're more likely to win at your second year polling votes than your first because they don't notice you. Whereas Nick, see, more likely win at this because they go, oh, Nick, when they
Yeah.
can't think of anyone, it's Nick. Nick must have had a good game, but
Yeah.
when they can't think of anyone, they're not going to think of Josh Dacos. They're going to think of Nick.
I still think Bailey Smith, as long as he doesn't miss too many more games.
Yeah.
I think there's heaps ahead of Dacos and Sheasel. There's
Yeah, there
Merritt,
is.
Smith, Rao is up there. You've got
Anderson. Although they probably take
yeah.
votes off each other.
I reckon
Yeah.
Side Bottom and Josh are ahead in his own team. So
Yeah.
I reckon he's run third or fourth in his own club.
Definitely. All right, so common medals. So Todd, you had Larky. Egi had Sam Darcy, and I had Jesse Hogan back to back.
Now I
Well,
don't think
Jesse
Larky's
Hogan's-
kicked a goal this year, but
Jesse Hogan's up there, but I think Jamie Elliott and actually,
I think Cameron's about 6
yeah,
clear now.
Cameron's 6 clear. I think he might even got more.
Oh,
On the weekend.
more, no, because he
Yeah.
kicked 4 and Dingo
Yeah.
kicked none, so he might be like 10 clear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Elliott got 1. What did Jesse get any? I missed that game.
Let's get the stats up. We'll go on to the next one. I'll get this.
Went on
Yeah,
to
we'll
three breakout players and why. Todd had Will Day, Riley Sanders if he plays in Rankin. So,
Well, Sanders definitely been, Rankin's definitely been, but Will Day hasn't played.
Yeah, but he's out. It was obviously the difference up until last weekend, or this weekend, should I say? I put Riley Sanders, Will Day.
Oh, no, he got injured early in the season.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that when he got injured, that's when Hawks were on their losing tear. But then they actually won this
It
weekend.
still hasn't updated, so he was 4 clear
That's it.
going into this round. I think he kicked 5 and Elliott kicked 1, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's 8 clear now.
And Riley Sanders, if he hasn't already, which we talked about, I got Sam Laylaw, Sid Draper, he's been a bit of a flop, Toby Trevallo, where he went down injured, and I think he's just come back in the VFL, and Isaac Kako, which hasn't been a breakout player, but he did show good signs. I don't know if he's been terrible.
Skip over the Rising Star.
No, we haven't got there yet, have we? Oh no, we did skip over the Rising Star. My apologies.
I was just thinking, I think I was supposed to be talking about O'Sullivan, who's flying along.
And then Tassie's got Jesse Love, looks fit, firing, and ready to go for his 3rd season after being interrupted last year.
How'd that go for you, Tassie?
But this one hit the nail on the head. Riley Thilthorpe bulked up, went off injured, and looked very good, and has come back late 2024. And he's right up there. Will Day, as Todd pointed, he has got a bit of an injury thing, but they have shown that they struggled to win without him.
Yep.
Then going back to Rising Star.
All right, so I had Finn O'Sullivan, who's on a tear at the moment, so he's chasing some players, but don't be surprised if he comes over. Egi had Sid Draper.
Yeah, he's been a flop.
Been a bit of a flop, and Laylaw got injured, Tassie, so I think he's out too.
I'm looking, I'm like, why did I not go Levi Ashcroft? I don't understand.
He's in front at the moment.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
that far clear at the moment, but there are some boys chasing him down.
Yeah,
because he was injured when we did the prediction show.
Oh, makes sense. Yep.
All right, then we've got the biggest head sign we'll ever see. I've got Collingwood flop again, start of season 07. Well, they went absolutely backwards to this. I think they went 6-1.
That's exactly what they went. And I put Bevo to get sacked before round 24, which is not looking good at the moment. And I also put John Longmire signs as he coach, so that's still not out of
I don't think Bevo can get sacked, can he?
Nah.
Absolutely he can. They're 9th, remember?
They are sitting
I reckon
but they've
there's
shown good signs, though.
I reckon there's a few in front of him for the second.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then Tassie puts Suns finally make finals, which is looking right on the money.
Oh, I think they're right.
So Tassie could get his year this year. Could be going in turns.
Oh, could be going. Could be Tassie's year.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Are we going to go through the ladders as well?
I'll just read my ladder out. Oh, we're just going to go to the top 3?
Yep.
Or we're going to read them all out?
Go them all. Why not?
All right. So I had Swans, Lions, and Freo top 3. Well, that's woeful.
I had Carlton, Lions, and Geelong.
You got 2 in there? I had Swans, Carlton, Freo. I've got 0.
Got 0. I got Cats for 4th, which is looking pretty good.
I got Swans for 4th.
And Crows for me, which is
looking right on the money.
Good. Hawks there at 5th.
I got Pies for 5th, but they're at number 1 at the moment. So
I don't think they're making 5th. Then I put Carlton in. If there was one I would change, Carlton would be the one.
Yeah. And I had Hawks for 6th. And I think Tassie also had Hawks for 6th.
7th and 8th to round it out, I had Port and GWS, which are fighting. But then I had Suns 9th. That's disappointing.
I had Freo and GWS, which are looking just under. They're just under. Well, I think GWS is in, but Freo is. Oh, Freo is in, is it?
Freo's 8th, yeah.
Oh,
you've got that perfect.
I thought they were down at 10th.
7th and 8th, mate. That's where you want them.
And I had Caps and Suns.
Oh, I don't really need to go past that, do we? The 8th we were keen on.
No, and we all had Richmond for 18th, and we saw how good that got us.
Yeah, that's
I just want to point out, I had Pies for 9th, and Moisty had him for 12th.
Yeah.
And you
had season, mate. Long season. They're all old now. They can do some injuries. We don't know.
They can, but that's the predictions wrap.
Yeah.
You. And then she could catch up on chat, which is, sorry, had that minimised while I had this up.
Forgot about chat. Yeah,
That's
there's a
right.
heap going on here. We've got Hugh Trainer looking forward to Harvey Harrison. I think we already got
Returning,
that.
yes.
Means nothing. Jesse got a couple, I think. Suns may be on track to finally make finals from Tiger team. And Artie, boys, where is his bloody hat?
Well, we said, Artie, have you signed up to Patreon yet? We're still waiting for that subscription. And then when you subscribe, we'll start putting that in.
And Tiger time, a week in footy is a long time, which it absolutely is.
Actually took it off just for you, Artie, just before we started.
All right, then we've got the tapping, and I'll let Egi go because this is his segment. He's a bit excited about this.
A little bit excited, but we jackpot again to a whopping 180. So we know that 160 did not go off, but this week, thanks to Port Adelaide upsetting the Giants. So if you haven't yet joined tipping, make sure you check out the link down below. We've got $180 up for grabs next week, and if you come first overall, it's $250. Second place, $100, and third, $50. And looking at the ladder now, actually, I should probably get that up behind us.
And don't forget quickly before we go, it is a buy round, so you do have to beat one of us with the perfect pick. So if we get the same as you and get a higher score, you lose.
Yes.
You mean a lesser margin?
Yes.
Lesser margin.
Lesser margin. Correct. So yeah, we got Triple R Kumar still out in front on 83. Fig Jam is on 82. Oscar Kilo on 81 with Pump It. And then going down, heading down, looking at Blue Boy 29 is on 78 in 14th. Zoe's making a climb up the ladder in 16th on 77 with Craigie. And Kelzo's 24th. Myth Brew's in 27th. Will.i.am in 29th.
Pull your head in, Dino. Myth Brew. Get up there.
He started well and then just died.
Yeah, done nothing.
Haley must have the same. She was tipping great near the start there. Oh, there she is down to 33 with Raz on 31 and Brusser on 35. So
can you just go to the bottom for me?
Oh.
I'll be down there with you.
Sorry, might be on page 2. Might have to go down to page 2.
Wait, am I ahead of you, Tassie? Am I?
I think so.
You've been tipping terribly. I've tipped North Melbourne every year, so you got at least 14 up on me.
Still loading.
I think I'm sitting like 60th.
Tassie's 59th, and we got Turtles on 54. Oh, Moisty's on 58. Oh, it's 58 v 59. Moisty v Taz.
Oh, how many in front of me, Miami?
Was it? Oh, these are both on the same, but you got 23 point differential.
Oh, I've not picked a margin all year, Tassie, so your margin must be pretty terrible.
I got a 0 as well. Like I actually got the margin 1 week.
I've not tipped, but I'll better start trying now that we got the TNT Spoon Cup up behind.
Well, I think I've beat you every year so far.
Yeah, well, we tip our teams though. You don't go against your own team, and your team's unbeaten this year, and my team's won 2 games.
What are you talking about? I tip against Carlton all the time.
You're not a true fan, Tassie. You cannot tip against your own team. That's why they're losing. See, if you tip them all the time, they wouldn't lose.
Can I just confirm that it's $180 next week, not $180?
He didn't say one.
Didn't say 180k this week. It's $180. Look in the fine print.
Oh, I love it.
Hopefully one day, if you keep sharing this video to all your friends, maybe one day we'll be able to give away that much.
That'd be cool.
If we're ever giving away that much, I'm retiring. You can give it to me, boys. All right. Now we move on to the viewer's question with Tassie. Now, do you want me to read these, Tassie? Because you're a little bit handicapped with no internet at the moment, or?
I've got it here. So, just so viewers know, we're in the middle of moving house, and our NBN is booked. So we've actually got to get a technician out, and they can't come out till next Tuesday.
He's lying. Don't lie to the fans. He can't afford internet. So
you're an idiot. Anyway, all right, viewers' question. So, Artie, you guys want to guess what the question says?
Free kick Geelong.
Free kick Geelong was again in full effect. When will something be done about this?
Well,
no, I don't actually know the free kick count from the Cats game on the weekend, unfortunately.
It was terrible. It was atrocious. But to be fair, a lot of them were there. In the end, it wasn't actually bad, but it was like 20-10 at one point, I think. It ended up 24-21, so it wasn't that bad in the end. Am I reading the right? Yeah, free kicks. Yeah.
I think sometimes it does feel like they do get the rub of the green, but I feel like that can happen to any side at any time as well.
But I feel like if the umpire's going at three-quarter time and it's heavily one-sided, you see a lot more go against the team and the game might be over. So GWS might have got, Gold Coast, sorry, might have got like 8 in the last 5 minutes just to even it up so they don't look as bad.
I feel that too a lot of the time. I don't think they do, obviously, but yeah, it does feel like it sometimes. Absolutely.
But we can say that Geelong's actually leaving the free kick. Gold Coast actually leaving the free kick differential. So
also, we have to be careful what we say as well, because look at the 3 media personalities being potentially taken to court from 4 umpires.
Fuck the umpires. No, but they genuinely like badmouth those umpires. We're right.
Just like you did. Yeah.
Umpires.
That's
Fraud umpires. They pointed out this, and this umpire.
Oh, so you're spitting straight facts, is that right?
I could be spitting facts about Joe Blow down umpiring freaking cricket down in the tooth.
Mate, umpires are very important to this game. It will not run without them.
They are not. I think AI umpires will take over.
Oh my God.
And I cannot wait for that to happen.
The spider came out.
There's a controversial call.
All right, cannot
next
wait
question.
for the AI to take over.
Hugh
They're
Tanner.
taking over our KFC ordering systems. Let's get them on the umpiring field.
Hugh Tanner was that one of the more average rounds of footy in a while, not including today's game, because he submitted this question before it had been played.
Yes, because there was 2 dry weather games of footy, and they were both as average as they were playing in the wet. So I'm going to say yes, this was a wet weather, but it was due to the wet weather. It wasn't due to
the wet weather. Yeah.
Poor teams playing better teams or anything. It was due to the wet weather.
Isn't it unreal how just every game except the North game had wet weather, but North played like it was wet weather?
Wet weather. Very slippery over there in Bunbury, I've heard.
Yep.
It's like very, very slippery conditions.
All right, Carlton Blues 25. If Carlton's first could be a whole 4 quarters, do you see finals in the question?
Well, if North Melbourne won every game, do you see finals in? Yes, if North Melbourne won every.
Yes.
I think it's because of the way Carlton play in their first quarters.
Yeah, so if they put 4 quarters together, yes, they can play finals, but they can't put 4 quarters together.
Well, I think they can put 4 quarters together. It's just that after the first quarter, they learn how to adapt to it. But then the team they're playing changes their game plan. But then Carlton don't know how to change their game plan.
And I think it's such an easy game plan to shut down too.
Yeah, I think so. And that's
all it is pressure. You put pressure on them, and they fumbly turn it into slow kick to kick. And teams that play that style can't win in this game footy. You need quick pace on the ball, not this chip around. Like Geelong were when they win their flags, a chip, kick. You can't play that style anymore.
Yeah, well, that's
too much zone, too much pressure.
Collingwood did that halfway through the last quarter, and it almost lost them the game. They went down the other end and kicked a goal from it.
But also, one thing that actually you pointed out, Moist, is Carlton go backwards out of packs and everything. They don't go forward.
First option when we were watching that game live was to the back 50.
Yep.
And it wasn't even inboard. It was, but they were in the center of the ground, and it was back to the back flank. It wasn't look forward. It was straight away, get it back to the better kickers. But you're losing 25 metres doing that. So now they've got to kick it 50 to get your 20 metre sharp pass. So
you look at other teams, even Richmond now, like Richmond when they won the flags, but even now, and then you got your GWS and Collingwood, they just get the ball forward at all costs. So, all right, last question.
Oh, just before we do that, we'll get on this one because it's I'm definitely with the anger management bloke when it comes to the umpire melts. Yeah, tag time. Love to see it. He's on me.
Anger management bloke. I like that.
Artie, we've got easy draw, free kick Geelong, salary breaching. No wonder why they make finals every year. Generally choke September. They played their hard games early. They deserve easy games now. For context, I was sick all weekend and fell asleep partway through every game other than the last 2 games. That's Hugh.
Nice.
I hope you're feeling better, mate.
Yeah, Tiger Time was the worst round I've ever seen other than the Pies D's today. Tiger Time highest score this round was only 81 points. That's back to old school footy.
Yep.
Hugh Tanner. Okay, I feel better about my question now. Thanks, chat. Tiger time. If the Blues' first quarter was like that, 4 quarters, they could be on track for a dynasty like Geelong and Hawthorn. George Speechley, does anybody else think MZG surface is deteriorating? Now,
The
I've seen this
Yeah.
question. Yeah, I've seen this question. They have too many concerts on it every year. And they need to shut that down. And they say, oh, it doesn't hurt. We get hurt.
What was the
Doesn't
concert on it
it-
this year?
No, there was a couple last year.
But
But
don't
it
they
takes
re-
time to, yeah, but it takes time to reroute. Like grounds that don't, if you look at Seymour's a better footy ground and softer under feet than these ovals because the roots can go in. It's a lot less slipping because if you plant into that turf and you get a bit that roots haven't taken, that's why they slip and slide.
Is it time to bring back club footy home grounds like Geelong and wave?
No,
I think it was
don't
just
think that. I like the bigger
just how,
stadium.
how wet it's been. I reckon it's just been how wet it's been.
Yeah, I reckon we just leave the stadiums though. We pay big bucks to have these turf and that. Just put a stand, put some concert in the stand or something. Don't worry about wrecking the ground.
But what is it this year though? Like, is it like today was the muddiest I've seen the MCG in years.
It's the weather. There's no roof.
We've got Hugh Tanner here. Sorry, Hugh Tanner has given us the answer. He goes, "It's Taylor Swift's fault." It is Taylor Swift's fault.
Yeah, from 18 months ago. It's her fault from 18 months ago.
Wrecked our grass and our bang.
All right, quick. Snip this. Send it to her.
Send it to Taylor. Stop fucking with our footy ovals.
Good question though. Good question.
Great question.
Carlton Flaggers 20. Oh, what do you think, George? Do you think it is? You would have seen a lot more footy than what we have. So, and I don't mean that to be offensive. I just mean because you've watched a lot more games. Carlton Flaggers 2025. Might have to update your name. Did Tads feel like Carlton lost more than they won against Essendon? The answer to that question is yes.
It's a personal question. I didn't want insight on this one.
I think I answered that a bit earlier anyway. I genuinely...
Hail the Tassie.
Carlton, mate. Carlton.
I can answer that for you. I think we learnt more about Essendon than we did Carlton.
Essendon trash?
No, just young, and a few missing, and still showing a lot of heart there.
I like the who's the guy that played off half back for them this week that popped up and kicked 3 goals on his debut.
Oh, I don't remember.
I do know him, the one that kicked 3, and
He's classic.
It's not another Archer, is it? No,
it was. Oh, you got me thinking now.
I'll look it up, but I haven't got net.
While you're looking it up, Hugh Tanner's just put, I knew she was trouble when she walked in to the MCG. And Tiger Time's a lol classic Tay-Tay song line.
Archie Roberts, mate. Archie Roberts. It is that.
I don't think it's Archie
No,
Roberts.
it's definitely not Archie Roberts.
No,
He's played lots of games for
Tony had to be.
It's not him.
He might have only kicked 2.
It's not Lulu.
Williams.
Oh, Angus Clark. Angus Clark, it is.
Angus Clark, that's it.
Angus Clark.
Or Clark.
Yeah, love the look of him. I think he's going to be a player for sure. Essendon have got some really good young kids.
Yeah, he was their first round in the draft, I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but
if they had one, I don't think they had. No, that's it for the questions. Thank you. Another good segment, mate.
Great segment.
Love the viewer questions.
This segment can't be done without you guys in chat. So
and I love how it gets chat talking as well.
Yeah, everyone gets going about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
We're a pretty podcast, but let's tell Taylor to stay off our grounds, and we don't want to see her in a. We're going to get a lot of hate saying we don't want to see her in Australia. We do want to see her in Australia, just don't want to see her on a footy oval.
That's the only way Amy Park can sell it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, just sell it 3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
She's got the highest crowd at MCG, doesn't she? 140 or something.
Yeah, or consecutive. She got 106 for 3 nights, whereas Ed Sheeran, or I think Ed Sheeran's got the most because he did 110 something thousand.
Yeah,
and there's actually rumours of him coming back next year. So,
book it on grand final. When's grand final? Just book it September 10th. Just right in the grand final. We don't need one of them, do we? North's not going to be playing it next year. We'll just see Ed Sheeran instead.
All right. That's it. Anything else from you two, gents?
No, that's the
No, that's me, guys. Just let's go north this week. Eh? Don't forget to tune in Thursday night for our live tips.
Yeah, live tip show
Absolutely.
and a bit of news items. I think one's coming up about the trip on. I was going to say Billy Elliot, but it's Bobby Hill.
Oh, we found an interesting fact. It's not Bobby Hill, mate. It's Ian Hill.
Yeah, I already knew that, but yeah.
We found an interesting fact. Well, Dad told me that because his name's Ian too. He's very excited.
Hey, that's old news. What are you talking?
That's
Oh,
what
I don't know that. Just
it was
I know that now.
It's only 24 or 25.
Yeah.
He is. But yeah, 7 o'clock Thursday. But for those in chat, if you can just minimize the chat for a moment, hit the like button on this video. It just helps us get a bit more exposure.
And just Tiger Time throwing a bit more show there. MCG is not good concert round for you, Tay. Like, imagine him doing, no, Tay. One of those ones.
But yes, if you haven't already, like the video, share it with friends, family. We really on a mission to hit 500 subscribers. I think we're on 115. So yeah, any help from you guys would be really appreciated.
And if you want to help the channel, you can check us out on Patreon as well. We do like a bit of a paywall there. But yeah, we don't have any followers yet on there. So.
Oh, we might have one soon, just so I can get that jumper from your brother.
Oh, yes.
I've got to do that post.
Yeah, you're going to do that post. It was a quick reminder, Taz. You gave us a hot drop 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
We had something ready to go.
You get a 2025 signed jersey.
And to be fair, I've been
gotta find
marketing TNT cards because I've got them printed out with us boys getting shipped, and they've taken 5 weeks to get shipped. So we will have some new stuff in the show soon. In the shop.
Just take time, all right? And especially when you're our age.
Yeah.
No, I ordered them 5 weeks ago. It's not me doing it. I've done my bit. They're coming.
Good accountability, Todd. I love it.
They've done my bit. This is on Australia Post.
All
That
right.
being said, Australia Post, if you want to sponsor the show, feel free.
That's all from us, guys. Let's hope you have a good few days before we catch up again Thursday night.
Well, let's hope you have an explosive few days until we see you on Thursday.
And that's it. Let's hope it's electric.
Just not explosive on the toilet.
Yeah. All right.
See you guys.
all.